Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Who is it?
Elevation, elevation,
Elevation who?
elevation, 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 elevation.
Always remember to always elevate to your next level. Never allow anybody to make you feel less than, unworthy, or anything else. Always remember to elevate because you're an elevation of the room. Hello, hello. Thank you for tuning in to the I Am Virtual Book Tour. And today, our special guest is Miss Monique Morman. How are you doing, Miss Monique? How are you doing, Miss
I,
Monique?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm excited. I'm ready. I'm pumped up, and God is good.
That is awesome, awesome. Can you introduce yourself to the peoples and tell them who you are and where you're tuning in from?
Yes. So, as Shania said, my name is Monique Morman, and I am an entrepreneur. I'm an author. I am a blessed mother and grandmother, and I am tuning in from District Heights, Maryland.
Nice, nice. We had Elizabeth joining us. Thank you, Elizabeth, for dropping in. We appreciate the hearts and the tuning in. So, can you tell us, did you always wanted to be an author, or is that just something that happened through the midst of your journey?
So it's something that happened in the midst of my journey. Um, didn't actually realize it was always there. But that push to do it came from a point, a low point in my life. And it wasn't dramatic, but for me, it was like this heart stopping moment of what do I do? So I'm always moving around. A lot of my friends and family call me the Energizer Bunny. And with that, I developed what is called plantar fasciitis. It's something that normally happens to athletes, and so in my athletic movements, I developed this condition, and so you have to go to therapy, and you try to avoid surgery, but I'm a little bit stubborn and hard-headed, so things that I was told not to do.
You still did.
Yes. And so, it just aggravated the symptoms even worse. And so our last resort was to do surgery. And I've had a total of 6 surgeries on both legs and feet. So, yeah. And the first one was what was that epiphany of coming out of that depression and writing stuff down. Because whereas I was supposed to be healed and back into therapy within a 2 to 3 month period, it took 6 months. And so, you still try to do everything under the sun, making things happen. I have a chair that has these rollers on the bottom. And so even cleaning the floor, I'm in the chair with the bucket, just moving around. And, it was just like I was stagnant and I couldn't take it. It was just driving me up the wall. And so one night, just laying in bed, I'm crying to myself and, basically feeling sorry for myself because I know that I had created the situation and it just looked like things were going to be over. You think about everything that you do, and now that you're limited, you're thinking, where do I go from here?
Right.
And so, I prayed and I'm like, God, please remove this from me. And, I started thinking about others that, were home because in my former church when I was in New York, because I'm originally from New York, Brooklyn. Woo woo. And so um, I was on a missionary circle. I was, doing things to help others. And, we had the sick and shut in list, and we would go and see them and try to encourage them. So it's like, so now I'm reverting in my mind, so now I'm on the other side of that. And, how they must have felt in those moments. And so I just asked God to remove it and give me motivation to do something, because my mind is just racing and I need, something to do. And so I had always thought about, telling my story as a female drummer, because I am a drummer. And, just the controversies behind it, which a lot of people don't realize, that there are controversies behind being a female drummer. And so it was just that thought, and pen with the paper, and I was just going, and this is supposed to be my biography. And then the spirit led me again. It's like, okay, but you started out younger, knowing that you wanted to play drums. So what about the young girls? What about the little ones that, they don't know how to express? I want to play the drums. I don't want to play piano. I don't want to, do ballet and, whatever things that are quote unquote the normal activities for little girls. And so, it was like, okay, let me try to see if I can do a little spinoff from the bio about, being a little girl. And it just kind of wrote itself. And, from there, it just propelled into this great little book, that, I was even feeling in awe of this moment that would literally save, the little girl that has that call to say, it's okay. It's okay to say, I like drums. It's okay to say, this is not the norm or quote unquote norm, but this is what I want to do. And so, that's where it started. And then let's propel to now. So that was, I'm sorry. So that was published in 2019. Okay. And so, let's propel forward to 2021. And our visionary, Carolyn Wilson, she put out a call for authors to, to listen in, and she had this vision and she wanted to share with us. And so from her, it was birthed her story, which is healed, empowered, and resilient. And, it's just amazing to see your growth within yourself of sharing your story. And so that propelled me to share more of myself, and then actually acknowledge I'm an author, because I didn't acknowledge that I was an author.
Wow.
From my first book. I really didn't. I just, I would tell everybody, yeah, I wrote something, and, it's out there, it got published, but I didn't identify as an author. And even with her story, it took about 6 months after we had done the actual book launch, that I'm like, okay, I can identify as an author, because as you do these things and you have to write your bio, I was not including that I'm an author in a bio for the book. yeah. So it's just amazing.
With her story, can you tell us what was your chapter about in her story?
So my chapter is about being a recovering hoarder. And so, and that's another thing that has birth that has made me become in tune more and more with myself. And the name of the chapter is Hoarding Made Easy, No Quick Fix. And it just kind of takes you out of the realm of what you think you know, what you assume, because you see these things on television, and they try to give you an optic view of what it is and what families go through and what the person identifies with, but it also takes away from the core of what's happening, the core of what propelled this disease, because it's a disease,
Right.
and it's something that's learned. Ironically or not,
Right.
it's a learned behavior, and
Right.
and I had to identify with that, and I identified that in my therapy, and at the time I'm like, kind of, and not to like blow my own horn, but hey,
Right.
why not? Let's pat myself on the back, because my therapist was now identifying that she had things in her house that she didn't let go of, and
Right.
it made her want to go in the closet and look and find things,
Right.
and then declutter and feel more confident about what's present against what was past.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, what did you learn after writing your chapter and writing about the book? What did you learn? What got you to the point, and going to therapy? What got you to the point to where you were hoarding stuff? Like, what, I know you learned it, but
Right.
what was the deep down secret to it of why it started happening?
So it was about loss, and for me, what I didn't realize is that it started when I was 5,
Mm.
and I had this favorite doll, and it was something that my parents had done to kind of like train me that you can't hold on to things forever, and there are people that are less fortunate than you, and if you're getting new things, then you have to let go of something else. But you're 5, so you don't, you're
Right.
not comprehending all of that at once, and so all is that your favorite item is
It's
being
gone.
taken away. It's gone. It's gone. And so then, propelling forward until elementary school, we, as because I went to private school, and so we were sometimes asked to sing for the choir for services that they had, and so we would do it. And there was this one occasion where we lost a teacher,
Mm.
and so we were there to sing and represent and show love. And I could not be consoled. I was so, I was so torn by the fact that this person is gone,
Right.
that it just, it shook me. And later on in life, every time there was someone close to me that I lost, it was major for me. And so
Right.
I would always come to this point where I've got to hold on to it. I've got to hold on to the things that meant the most. And
Mm-hmm.
what was the pivotal moment that propelled me into full-blown hoarding um, was losing my my aunt, my adopted aunt,
Mm-hmm.
and then losing my sister within a year of each other.
Mm. Yeah.
And so, the depression came on again. And,
Mm-hmm.
then, I was partially in charge of the things for my adopted aunt. And I was in full mode of making sure that my sister's items were designated to certain areas. And so, of course, you come across things, and you remember, and you sit and you pine over all these moments that you had, and then you start placing those memories into these items.
Right.
And so it wasn't until I was in therapy that I had to realize that the memory is not in the items, the memories are within you. And so
Right.
you have to do what you can daily to separate that, because it's never over. And that's why
Right.
I identify as a recovering hoarder.
Right.
It's so hard to separate sometimes, and to just train yourself not to attach things to items, your emotions to these things.
Absolutely. So, what is next for Miss Monique? What is next? And we wrote the drummer girl in 2019. We did the her story in 2021. What's next? What's coming up next for you?
Okay, so immediately next is because we all have the opportunity to hold events, to have our book signings, to promote the book.
Right.
So next month, I'm having an event, and I'm attempting to turn it into a full weekend, but for right now, for sure, it will be in Bowie, Maryland. And that's at the oh god, having a
Breathe.
moment,
It's all right.
having a moment. New Beginnings Community Church. Forgive me, y'all, because
It's okay.
my move here is like fresh, brand
Right.
new. And so that's the New Beginnings Community Church in Bowie, Maryland on September 24th from 12 to 3. And just look out for more information from me. We'll talk about how you can get the information, because it's going to be a full blown weekend, because it's going to be, as my title for my theme for that weekend will be, Beyond a Book Signing. And so that's
Okay.
what I'm coming up first. And following, I am working on a sequel to The Little Drummer Girl. And that will be highlighting her journey in her teenage years as a drummer. And so, I'm just so excited about that, because that will, spearhead others to write their stories about how they experience being a drummer in a male dominant world of musicians. And also to finally submit and publish my bio, um, just based on my life as a drummer. And there's just so much more. There's so much
Yeah.
more. I'm even writing a story about my sister, because she wanted to be a writer and just never took that leap.
Right.
And but she's got so many stories, and as I'm decluttering, I'm going through the
Right.
stories and writing them down, so that you know it's it's going to be honoring her life.
That is so awesome. Now tell me, a lot of times we tend to be afraid. Like you have people that are afraid to put the pen to the paper, or they're
Right.
afraid to share their stories. What
Yeah.
advice could you give to any future entrepreneur or future authors or writers that want to put their story out, but they don't know how to get started, or they're too afraid to do it?
So, and that's a great question. Um, you have to trust and believe in yourself, even beyond you. So, what I found was that I was making excuses for holding on to my story. Um, and you have to acknowledge that God gives us gifts, or whoever you acknowledge as your higher power. um, God gives us gifts that we are supposed to share with others. And we help ourselves when we help others. And so your story is going to help someone else. And then their story will help the next person. And it will continue on. And, that's the essence behind writing stories. It's not just for you, it's for the betterment of us as a whole, because we work together. We have to work together because that's the only way that we can survive. And so, you have to dig deep, and then you have to also be ready and acknowledge that it's not going to be an easy road. This is not glitz and glam and the fanfare. It's a true struggle. And so you have to dig deep and know that this process, if you're wanting this to be your dream, your moment in time, you have to understand that with everything there's pressure. And that's how you get the diamond, right? You have to apply that pressure and keep applying it and keep drumming it and keep hitting it and keep going, because it's rough. It's rough. And it's not always, just this great thing. And I wrote a book and it's out there and it's moving. And it's not always gonna move. But if one person reads it, that's all you need. That's all you need. And that's all that the other authors have been talking about this week. Because I caught the replays. I caught the replays, and oh man, the women are so phenomenal. And they're giving you all these beautiful, beautiful things to keep for reference when you're out there, when you're ready to do it. It's gonna be hard, but it's gonna be so worth it. Just push yourself past that next level. We all have a strength within us. Use it to your fullest capability. I promise you won't regret it.
Yes, she is speaking the truth, because I remember when I published my first book and it wasn't moving. And a lot of times you would then doubt yourself, like, oh, my book is not selling. Why did I write it?
Right.
But, me 3 years later is just a woman of, yeah, I'm everywhere. But
Yes.
I'm going to tell you, don't give up. You got to continue to thrive and go through the struggle, because as you go through the struggle, the messages for the person that is waiting for you will come. Whoever it is for, they will get it. Don't worry about the people that don't buy it. Just know that it's out there for somebody, and they will receive the message that needs to be received. So,
Absolutely.
can you tell the people how? First, let's see the Her Story book, because we ain't see the
Yes.
book. We need
Yes.
to see the book, because I'm also in this book too. So,
Yes.
we got to see the book.
And yes, bestseller,
Yes,
y'all.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
We were bestseller number one. Then
Right.
we go international as well too, or was it just
Yes, we
bestseller? Oh,
did.
yep.
Yes,
So,
we
yep,
did.
yep, yep. So,
Okay. And it's still moving. It's still
yes,
moving.
it
So,
is.
oh man, please, please, when you have a moment, it's a page turner, it's a tear jerker. Get your tissues ready, And I have been dubbed as the family crier, because we have now identified that we are family,
Yes.
and that's the beauty of writing together. And so I am the family member who is, the empath crier. But it's all for love and joy.
Right.
It's always there. It's always there.
Yes. So tell them how to connect with you, how to get Her Story, how to get the Little Drummer Girl, and how to follow you for all the amazing things that's to come.
Okay. So for following me, you can follow me on Instagram under the Little Drummer Girl, or I am my brother's keeper 2126. You can also follow me on Facebook under Monique Morman, Or also, I do have a group page for I Am My Brother's Keeper, a nonprofit organization. And to get the book, oh, sorry guys. See, this is why you're supposed to be ready. You're supposed to be ready. bit.ly.com/her story. All right, but I will post all the information that you need to be in touch with me, and you know, I'm ready, and I will answer any questions you need, and you know, I'm here for you.
So before we leave, as always, I always have you leave a motivation or an inspirational quote for the people. So leave them with something to inspire or an affirmation or anything to touch their soul.
Go beyond you. Push beyond you. Live beyond you. That's how you leave your legacy.
That you heard the word hashtag go beyond you. As y'all can see, everyone I do the hashtag at the end. Yes. So go beyond you. The one that I had the other day was just do you. So yes. We got a lot of yous in here. So that means it's about you.
That's right.
Remember that. Remember, it's you first, and it's not selfish thinking about you. Because at the end of the day, if you're not taking care of you, how are you able to pour in or to help or to heal anyone else? Always remember, you have to put that you in there, and not saying I, but you with the we, because, you know, you got to take care of you to be able to take care of the ones that are attached to your story and being able to pour into them. Monique, it's been an honor, and I thank you for being on the I Am Virtual Book Tour. It's been a blessing. You know, you're always welcome to the platform any day, anytime. We will be back tomorrow at 7 and 7:30. Tune in for 2 more ladies on the virtual book tour. Make sure you share, like, comment, tell your friend to tell a friend. Go follow her, and make sure y'all get the copies of her story, because I'm in it, plus she's in it, and a lot of all the awesome stories are in it. Absolutely. And make sure you get her book. It's the Little Drummer's Girl. Am I correct?
The Little Drummer Girl. Yes.
The Little Drummer Girl. And it's out there. It's on Amazon. There's no reason why you don't have it. But make sure you call her, get in touch with her, and follow her and get all the info. I thank y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great night.
Big love.
Introducing to some and reintroducing to others. Speaker, entrepreneur, motivational coach, and author, Sheena Gadine. If you wish to contact her, you can contact her via email at sgadine